Today's video is going to cover the creation of the piston. Um, Not our last step, but the last big step in the creation of our crankshaft and cylinder. So you've got the diagram up in front of you. We have the piston here. Let's zoom in. Looks like, looking at the diagram, we have a cylinder that's 3 inches in diameter. It's 2.5 inches tall. It's got some grooves cut out that appear to start at the half-inch mark working up. And we've got a hole here where the piston pin goes through. Now as you'll see in the piston pin, it's going to fit flush to this rounded outer edge, and there's a trick on how to do that. So in starting this project, let's go look at the final version here. Let's close the sketch. All right, so that's what it looks like. We start off simply by creating our outer shape, the diameter of the piston, and extruding it up. Then we're going to create a sketch on the top plane. Okay, if we go back to our dimension sheet, we're going to see that we've got a rounded edge here running the length of where the pin would go through from hole to hole here. So this edge is rounded off. And what's the radius of that particular circle? That circle's a 1.3-inch radius. So you can convert that to the diameter when we do the sketch on top. I drew my circle first. Then we also have the dimensions where this edge to this edge is 2 inches across. So as we did in the connecting rod, I created a center rectangle that had that width of 2 inches, and then identified where it intersected with my inner circle there, and was able to use that as the shape for my cutout going down. It looks like when you look at these edges in this diagram, this is our inner cutout, those dotted lines. Looks like we've got a fillet with a radius on the inner bottom edge of 0.125 inches. All right. The gap shows us how far we go down. We know what the total height is. Looks like we got 2/10 of an inch between here and here. So that would help us with the depth of our extrude in this step when we finish this sketch and cut it out. After we do that, we're going to create a construction plane from the bottom. We're going to create our sketch, okay, that shows the dimensions of the cutout. So there's two circles, one to match the outer diameter here, and then the inner diameter of the cutout, which we'll find there. If we go back to the drawing, we're going to identify that here. So this side is 0.0625 inches. So 625 0.0625. So this is tenths, hundreds, thousands, tens thousands. But what you've got to remember is that's just one side. We've also got it over here too. So that second circle is actually going to be 2.875 inches in diameter. So the total, when you add these two together, is 0.125 inches. All right, 0.125 one thousandths of an inch. Tens, hundreds, thousands, yeah. So we've got that sketch where we would also, on our construction plane, the outer circle would be the full 3 inches in diameter. The inner circle would be 2.875 inches in diameter. And then we would extrude that up, the height there, identified there, and cut that material away. Then we'd create another construction plane at the level that this one would be. So you're going to have to add to get up there. And a third construction plane that we would apply the initial sketch that we created here to cut out the bottom one. We can change it to start from an object and use that sketch to cut out this and this groove, the other two grooves. The last step then would be these holes for the piston pin to go in, and the connecting arm will come down and connect around that pin as it's locked in here. That I would sketch that on one of these interfaces here, and from our diagram it shows us it's 0.625 of an inch down the center of it. The hole is 0.625 of an inch from the top edge here, centered. And the diameter of this hole is 1/2 an inch. And when you've got that sketch, you can extrude it in both directions so that it cuts a hole on both sides. And you'll be done with the piston itself. It's that easy. And let's see, I think the next video will be the piston pin. And we'll probably, the end cap pins, if you know how, they are just a straight pin. This is the easiest piece. Okay, we created a component. I did a cylinder, and I'm going to edit that feature so it is extruded 1/2 an inch up, and the diameter you can find in the drawing, and that's all the piston pin, or the end cap pin is, not the piston pin. The piston pin's easy, but not quite that easy. So that's the last of this video, and best of luck.